Hey guys, welcome to Tuesday, April 7th. Um, you guys already have your assignment for this day. You need to finish up your civil rights photo essay. Remember, I gave you a week to do that, so it's due on Thursday. Just make sure you picked one of those topics, and there were like three or four of you that did not submit a topic for your attendance check for Thursday. So please make sure you go into that Google form. It's just a drop down menu. You click the words you were going to use for your photo essay and make sure you hit submit so I can mark that you were present. Guys, you heard the governor today. This is it. This is school the rest of the year, and we're still going until May 26th. The email was already sent out. Attendance counts, so make sure you get your attendance turned in so I can get you guys marked present. Okay. What we're gonna do, what I want you to do today is finish up your photo essay, but I also have shared with you the link to Eyes on the Prize. Eyes on the Prize. It was a very well done civil rights video done by PBS. So I have submitted to you part one. It is 55 minutes, but it's really, really good. And if you're stuck on some of your photo essay stuff, it'll help out. So this is going to have the video about Emmett Till. It's going to have some of the stuff about Rosa Parks and the bus boycott, and so the early movement in the 50s. So please watch that. Your attendance form for today is tell me three things from that video. Tell me three things from the Eyes on the Prize video that shocked you or was new information to you you've not ever heard before. Okay, so really pretty simple assignment, and then you'll just type it in. All right, and the other thing I wanted to do real quick was go over the civil rights notes that were assigned to you on Thursday. Um, right? Or they were due on Thursday. I want to go over the answers with you guys. So, um, and then I'll be done for the day. This is a short video for me today. Don't forget um, office hours, 9:15 to 10:45. I'll be on Google Meet or Google Hangout. I'll send you the information in Classroom. If you're stuck on your project at all, please just pop in, ask a question, say hi. I don't make you stay there the whole time or anything like that. So just if you're stuck on something, please pop in. All right. So real quick, let's just go through these 10 questions that were from the last part of the civil rights notes. What two Southern universities refused to allow admittance of African Americans until forced to do so by the U.S. Marshals? And that was on slide 13. And that was Ole Miss and the University of Alabama. And if you've ever seen Forrest Gump, in the movie Forrest Gump, Forrest, one of the African American students, drops a notebook and he picks it up and tries to give it to her, while the Governor Wallace is telling them they can't enter the University of Alabama. And the other one was at Ole Miss, and the one at Ole Miss actually riots and stuff broke out at Ole Miss. If you're not sure, Ole Miss is the University of Mississippi, and so they refused to allow James Meredith to attend school there until he was escorted by federal marshals. And the governor of Mississippi also stood in front of Ole Miss to try to stop him from going in. All right. Next question. Watch the I Have a Dream video. What governor did Dr. King call out in his speech as wanting to nullify federal gains that African Americans had earned? He says the governor of Alabama. So the governor of Alabama, or you could put Governor Wallace if you knew his name, but if you just put the state. What was the bill that the March on Washington was supporting? What were they there supporting that speech? It was the Civil Rights Act of 1964. Was actually when it ended up getting passed. It was the Civil Rights Act that had been proposed by Kennedy, but it didn't pass until 64 when, after Kennedy was assassinated, Lyndon Johnson said, hey, this would be a great way to memorialize Kennedy as the pass the Civil Rights Bill, and that's when Congress actually passed it. All right. Slide 16 talks about the protest in Birmingham, Alabama, who famously led the opposition to MLK's efforts and used the dogs and the fire hoses. It was Bull Connor, Eugene Bull Connor, the head of the Department of Security or whatever. I can't remember his official title, but he was the one who decided to do that. Watch the Children's Crusade video on slide 17. Organized march of School children in Birmingham, what church did it start at? It started at the 16th Street Baptist Church. That church later on, someone threw a bomb at it and killed 3 little girls that were in the basement for choir practice. So, where were the students taken after their arrest, and why were they excited? They were taken to the state fairgrounds, and a lot of them were excited because it was the first time they'd ever been in the state fairgrounds, because African Americans were not allowed to go to the state fair until after 10 o'clock at night, and most of the kids, their parents would not let them go to the fairgrounds that late. So they had this first time many of them had ever seen the fairgrounds, so they were excited about it, even though had been arrested. Slide 18 was the most significant legislation in the Civil Rights Movement, Civil Rights Act, 1964. What was the main goal of Freedom Summer movement in the South? It was to register voters, register African Americans to vote. What was the result of the trial of the 19 men accused of violating the civil rights of the 3 murdered workers in Philadelphia, Mississippi? 7 of them were found guilty of violating his civil rights. 12 were acquitted, and they did do jail time. Where did the march from Selma finally end up, and who gave the final speech? They marched from Selma to the capital of Alabama, which was Montgomery, and Dr. King gave the final speech there in front of the Capitol, and the speech is very famous for how long, not long. That was his whole thing. And I don't know if you guys have noticed from a lot of Dr. King's speeches, he has a theme, and he goes with that theme the whole time, and he's such a good speaker. Listen to any of his speeches, guys. He's one of the best people I've ever heard speak. I didn't hear him live, but from his recordings. What is the name of the 2 leaders that were not as willing to continue Dr. King's peaceful protests, and what groups did they lead? You had Malcolm X, which was the leader of the Nation of Islam, and you had Huey Newton, who was the leader of the Black Panthers. They were not as eager for the to continue the peaceful. Malcolm X actually insulted Dr. King a lot. One of Malcolm X's favorite or most famous speeches is the Ballot or the Bullet. So either let us make changes by voting, or we'll use the bullet. So little different approaches. Right? And then the last 2 questions: where was Dr. King assassinated, and what was the reason he was in town? He was assassinated in Memphis, and he was there supporting the Memphis sanitation workers who were on strike, and they were very famous for their sign that said "I am a man." The signs they held up, they wanted to be treated like a normal man should be treated. That was what they were famous for, their sign. And then Watch the Mountaintop speech was the last thing on there. Why do many people feel like Dr. King was predicting his death? Because in the speech, he specifically says, I've seen the promised land. I've been to the mountaintop. I've seen the promised land. I may not get there with you, but we will get there. And then the next day he was assassinated. So a lot of people felt like he had some kind of, I don't know if you believe it or not, but he had like a premonition. And he was telling people, I'm not going to get there with you, but we will get there. And then April 4th, so Saturday, was the 52nd anniversary of Dr. King's assassination. And then I hope some of you did watch the little online tour of the National Civil Rights Museum I posted. And guys, when all this is over, if you're ever in Memphis, you can go to that museum. It was the Lorraine Motel, and now it's the National Civil Rights Museum, and it's a really neat museum there in Memphis. All right, so those were the answers from the questions that you should have turned in on Thursday. So now you know how well you did. You can look over your answers and see how you did. Make sure you turned it in. And then Thursday, guys, the photo essay, everything you've done so far except for the Vietnam quiz which was unassisted. Everything else has been assisted or participation points. The photo essay is our test for civil rights, so it's going to be a unassisted grade. Make sure you follow the rubric. Make sure you have everything in there that the rubric says. And if you have any questions about it, let me know, guys. So for tomorrow, go check your answers. watch the Eye on the Prize video to answer the attendance check and work on your photo essay. And guys, I'll be online 9:15 to 10:45 if you have any questions. Guys, sorry to hear the governor say no more in-person learning. I really do like seeing you guys in class and getting to talk to you face to face, interacting with you guys. So, please feel free just to pop in and say hi, even if you don't have any questions. And if you have any questions about anything else, just let me know. Hope you guys have a good week. I'll talk to you again on Thursday. Bye.